Shankaram Logashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavatyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste all of you. Wish you all a very, very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. It's a great thing that we are beginning the formal learning of Advaita Vedanta on a very auspicious day of this Ganesh Chaturthi. So my greetings to all of you and my best wishes to all of you and your family on this occasion. Now we will go into the topic. Adi Shankara in Viveka Chudamani, a text composed by him on Advaita Vedanta, begins the text by saying Jantunam Narajanmam Durlabham. I think it's very simple. You will all understand what it means. Means that amongst all living beings, being born as a human being is very rare. Human birth is very rare and precious because in human birth alone, you can pursue all the human goals. And also the ultimate goal of moksha. In fact, the human goals in the Shastras are called Purusharthas. We will see all these things in detail in future talks. So these Purusharthas, the four Purusharthas which Shastra talks about, Artha, Kama, Dharma and Moksha. This Moksha Purushartha can be pursued only in the human life. Animals cannot, or animals or trees or plants which also are lives, are living beings, they cannot pursue this moksha, the moksha purusha, right? So that is why this human birth is very, very rare, and that is why Adi Shankaracharya starts first by glorifying this human birth. And the Shastras say that in this universe, there are about 84 lakh species, not living beings, 84 lakh species, and the human species is one of them. So you can imagine the probability of being born as a human being is a very, very low probability. And that is why we must cherish, first of all, being born as a human being. And that's why we are able to achieve all these things that we are out to achieve. And the most important aspect is, amongst all living beings, it is the human being alone who has got a free will. And we are endowed with the power of discrimination, which is called Viveka, which is an intellectual capacity to differentiate between the right and the wrong. None of the other species have got this intellectual faculty. They are all driven by their instincts. They are pre-programmed, and that too hard-coded. They can't change that even if they wish. And this free will is given only to the human beings. And that is why we are able to evolve spiritually and also follow the values of lifestyle, and also understand what is Sanatana Dharma all about, which is popularly known as Hinduism. All of us want to be happy. nobody can question that, isn't it? This statement is a universal statement. Everybody wants to be happy and also lead a very peaceful life. Nobody wants any strife. Nobody wants coronas being visiting us again and again, right? But our experience is that our happiness in this life, even though we do get it at times, it is mixed with misery or sorrow, isn't it? Happiness and sorrow, they are like the pendulum of a clock. Sometimes one side it goes, we are happy, and then it swings to the other side and we become sad. So what we say is, we have happiness, but it is a dukkha mishrita sukha. That is what we have got. So these two things are coming together, even though every human being wants to be always happy. You ask anybody, do you want to be sad? Do you want to, be have some grief or anything? Nobody will invite any grief or any sorrow. Everybody wants to be happy always, isn't it? But that being happy always eludes us. And then what happens is, we find ourselves in this cycle, sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy, and we reconcile to the situation thinking that probably we can never get enduring happiness. This is the way the life is, and so we have to continue like this. That is what we resign to, our sort of what we call a fate. But it is here that Advaita Vedanta steps in. Advaita Vedanta analyzes the cause for being trapped in this cycle of happiness and unhappiness or sorrow, and asserts that you can actually be permanently happy if you know how to go about it. And it does not talk about permanent happiness, in some heaven or in some swarga or Jannat. All other religions talk about happiness only there. Advaita Vedanta says that if you know how to go about it, you can get permanent happiness in this life itself, here and now. This is the teaching of Advaita Vedanta. So when that is being promised to us, should we not actually try to find out what is it that Advaita Vedanta wants to say? And what is the secret formula which is there, which will give us permanent happiness? In all situations, we will be happy, right? And while analyzing this cause for this unhappiness, Advaita Vedanta says that the cause for your unhappiness is your ignorance of your real identity, your real self. And that ignorance can be removed only by knowledge. Just like darkness can be removed only by light, similarly, the antidote to ignorance is knowledge. So Advaita Vedanta says that this knowledge relates to the knowledge of your real self. What you really are, you must understand. Once you get that knowledge, you will be able to gain that permanent happiness. It is not only getting that knowledge, you have to assimilate that knowledge, you have to internalize that knowledge, and you have to abide in that knowledge. Then you will get this permanent happiness. So this is basically, in short, the whole subject matter of the Advaita Vedanta, and which is what is the teachings of the Upanishads of the Veda. But before we go for it, we need a basic understanding of what our religion is about, what spirituality is about, and we must start with a very broad picture. So that is why in this series of talks on this topic of Vedanta basics, I intend to deal with these basic concepts, the structure and approach approach of our religion, which will eventually lead to the unfolding of the knowledge which Advaita Vedanta talks about. And as most of you know, I mean, we call ourselves Hindus, or Hinduism is our religion. But most of you will know that the original name of our religion is Sanatana Dharma, right? That was the original name. In fact, the word Hindu or Hinduism was given to us by some foreigners. You will not find this word in any of our scriptures, rather, the word Hindu, right? So, this word Sanatana Dharma itself, first we need to understand it in all its dimensions, right? So first let us understand in today's session what this Sanatana Dharma is, and which is what is the basis of our entire Hindu religion. All our values, our beliefs, our practices, our customs, our tradition, our culture, everything is based on this Sanatana Dharma. Now this word Sanatana is a Sanskrit word which means eternal, never ending, perpetual, everlasting, etc. You can have so many synonyms for this, right? It means that this Sanatana means which has no beginning and which will never end. That is what is everlasting is all about, right? So Sanatana Dharma means a Dharma which has no beginning and no end. This is what is Sanatana Dharma is. So Sanatana is very easy to understand. Now let us see what is this word Dharma means. And this word Dharma in our Shastra is a word of very, very wide import. In the Vedas, in Mahanarayana Upanishad, a definition for Dharma is given. It says, Dharmo Vishwasya Jagatah Pratishta Loke Dharmishtam Praja Upasarpanti Dharmena Papam Apanudati Dharme Sarvam Pratishtitam Tasmat Dharmam Paramam Vadanti. In short, it says that this entire universe, this entire world is based on the firm foundation of Dharma. And it is on this Dharma that this whole universe rests. If you remove Dharma from the universe, the whole universe will collapse, right? That is how the Vedas define Dharma. So it said, there is another sentence, Dharayati iti Dharma. Dharayati means that which upholds, which supports. So which supports the whole universe, that is called Dharma. And this is a unique word because in no other language you can find an equivalent word for this. This is a very unique word, only in Sanskrit language, no other language this word is there. And that is why even in Hindi and in Tamil, the word used is dharam. In fact, in Hindi they call it dharam, and in Tamil we say it dharmam, right? There is no equivalent other word. It's all taken from Sanskrit word only, dharma or dharam and all that. And in fact, it has now come into the English dictionary also, this word dharma. So this is a very, very important thing. We have to understand what this dharma is all about. Let us see that. The thoughts, the words, and the deeds which give peace and happiness to an individual as well as to the society as a whole, those thoughts, those words, and those deeds are collectively called dharma. What did you understand? So basically what it says is, whatever thoughts, actions, deeds, words, that is speech, which will ensure a peaceful coexistence of everybody in this entire universe, and also ensure everybody's happiness, those thoughts, words, and deeds are called dharma. Right? Okay, that's very good. But where do we find these thoughts, words, and deeds? Right? And the answer is very simple. These the definition of this dharma is found in our Vedas. Vedas is the main source for the definition of dharmas. But Vedavyasa gives a very beautiful definition, which includes this, which is goes beyond Vedas also. He says, Dharma Moolam Veda Mahuhu Grantha Rashima Kritrimam Tatvidam Smriti Shile Cha Sattvacharam Manapriyam. This is the definition of dharma, or what you can say, the source of dharma, which Vedavyasa states. So, first source he is talking about is the Vedas. And Vedas, as we all know, is called Apaurusheya. Apaurusheya means those which have not been composed or written by human beings. Apaurusheya, not Paurusheya, Apaurusheya, right? So it is our belief that these Vedas have come to us directly from Ishvara through Brahmaji. In fact, Ishvara gave the Vedas to Brahmaji to give it to the entire world. So all these dharmas which we talk about, the main source of this dharma is the Vedas, right? Then the second source of this dharma, which is called smritis, because smritis are the texts which are written by rishis. They are Paurusheya. Human beings have done that. And the difference basically is when human beings do some things, there could be errors. When Ishvara does something, it will be error-free, total. That is why we have total Shraddha in the Vedas. We cannot change what the Vedas say. We cannot do anything with the Vedas. We have to just accept the Vedas as they are. The Smriti Granthas were the texts which were written by various munis, various rishis, and they are also based on the Vedas, but they are in a more, I would say, easy language, more user friendly as compared to the Vedas. So this is the second source of this dharma. In fact, Bhagavad Gita is a Smriti Grantha, right? Even though Bhagavad Gita is based on Upanishads, the teaching of Bhagavad Gita is fully based on Upanishads, but it was written by Vedavyasa as a part of the Mahabharata. So that becomes a Smriti Grantha. But that also contains a lot of, dharmas or Vedas teachings are expounded in the Smriti Granthas. We have other Smritis like Manu Smriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti. There are so many Smritis are there. So they are also a source of dharma. To know what dharma means. So they are, and in fact, source of knowledge in Sanskrit, it is called a pramana. Pramana means a source of knowledge. So the Smritis are also a pramana for knowing what dharma is all about. Then the third thing Vedavyasa, okay, this is now going to end in 10 minutes. It says, I got a notification. So if it ends, please log in again, as Shivani told in the beginning. There may be a gap of 20-30 seconds, but we will continue. Okay. So the third source, which Vedavyasa talks about, is the virtuous conduct of those people who follow a Vedic lifestyle. Those conduct, from that conduct we can know what is dharma. Because they, following a Vedic lifestyle, will never do or speak anything which is adharma, which is not dharma. So if we don't want to read the Vedas, we don't want to go to Smriti Granthas, by observing those people who follow strictly the Vedic lifestyle, we can know what Dharma is, how we should conduct in a dharmic manner. So this is the third source, which he says that is what the Smriti Shile. Smriti Shile means those who are habituated to follow all the dharmic what you can say injunctions or dharmic lifestyle. Then the fourth is sadhvachara, which is meaning more or less the same like the Smriti Shile. Sadhvacharam, it is like the elders in the family, the people who are Mahatmas, all those people, whatever they advise, whatever they do, whatever they follow, you follow. That is another source of dharma. Now, finally, he says manapriyam. Manapriyam means what appeals to your conscience, not what appeals to your mind, but what appeals to your conscience. That is also included in the dharma. So these are basically the 5 sources, he says. So Vedaha means Vedantic texts. Smriti, as I said already, what is that? Yagyavalkya Smriti and all that. And Sadhvacharam, the virtuous conduct of those who follow the Vedas. And they are also referred to as Shishtachara. Right? Achara means a traditional lifestyle. And Shishtaha means a person of virtuous conduct. Right? One who is knowledgeable in the dharmic concepts, and including Smritis, Ramayana, Mahabharata, because these are all the epics or texts which actually expound all these dharmas. That is the reason why we start reading all these epics right from our childhood, rather, so that all these dharmic values are embedded in our mind, right? And there are so many other sources, in the sense that they're all part of this, what I've said. And these Shishtachara, they are actually filled with a lot of Atma Gunas. And the scriptures talk about a lot of Atma Gunas, that is Ahimsa, Daya, Satya, compassion. So many things are being talked about. And they are also those who are in the pursuit of this knowledge of their real self. That also is, in the Shishtachara definition. And Bhagavan Krishna talks about 20 such attributes or qualities of such persons in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, these dharmas which have been stipulated in the Vedas, which are articulated in the Itihasas and other Puranas, and also these Smriti Granthas and all that, they are also articulated in various other scriptures like Shaiva Agama, Vaishnava Agamas, Shakta Agamas, Ganapathy Agamas, Shaura Agamas. So many Agamas, Agama Shastras are there. All of them have their basis on the Dharma alone. For all of them, Dharma alone is important. So that is why any single definition of Dharma will be insufficient. And if we attempt that, it is impossible rather. And it has a very wide variety of meanings and various contexts, right? And also in the Vedas, these dharmas are split into Samanya dharmas and Vishesha dharmas. So this is another, aspect of these dharmas which come into the picture. Samanya dharmas are the ones which generally everybody should follow, irrespective of their sex, age, caste, creed, where they were born. This is universal values, what we call universal values. It has to be followed by everybody. Whereas Vishesha dharmas, they are specific dharmas to be followed by a particular class of people. We will see all these things later about Vishesha dharmas and all that when we come to Karma Yoga and things like that, right? And also our Shastras, our scriptures, they have laid down lot of rituals right from conception of a child or preconception of a child, I would say. After marriage, there is a ritual for conception of the child. Then there is a ritual when the child is born. Then there is so many rituals throughout the life of the human being. So many rituals and rites are prescribed. And all those rituals are also come under the definition of dharma, right? Then after death also, we do the Shraddha Samskaras, then the monthly Tarpanam and all that. All these are also come under the definition of dharma. So when you are talking about leading a dharmic lifestyle, you are talking about complying with all these shastric injunctions or shastric advices. And then when you come, staying together as a family is a dharma. And with commitment towards one's own self, duties towards the family one lives with love and affection. This is all part of the dharma. There is then Pitru Dharma, the duties of a father, a Putra Dharma, the duties of a son, Matru Dharma, the duties of a mother. So like this, for every, these are all come under specific dharmas, as I said, Vishesha Dharmas. And in Vishesha Dharmas also there are further definition, Vishesha Tara Dharma, Vishesha Tama Dharmas, which is, as you say, good, better, best, like that. So there are so many, dharma is a very, very wide definition. Similarly, having a reverential attitude towards one's parents. In fact, not only parents, having a reverential attitude towards everything in this entire universe is a very, very basic dharma, which is available only in our religion. No other religion teaches this, right? That is why we actually worship, everything. We worship fire, water, all the five elements. We worship trees. We worship animals. Everything we worship, that we come across. Even for that matter, if there is a small piece of paper lying on the floor and by mistake our feet, touches that, we will immediately, touch that paper and say like that, we'll ask for pardon that, I have put my feet on you. Even a piece of paper, even though that paper may be containing some news about some terrorist, even that for us is supposed to be a reverential object, object which we have to be very respectful towards. So this is the basic, you can say the foundation of our dharma, having a reverential attitude. Then having patience, entertaining always noble thoughts, reading noble books, reading the Shastras, understanding the Shastras. All these are also coming under the definition of dharma. These are all actions, relating to dharma. Being humble, humility is very much necessary for dharma, dharma lifestyle. Then thinking and praying for everybody in the society, everybody in the world. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. That is also a dharma, thinking and praying for everybody. Then there is Raja Dharma, Praja Dharma, Kula Dharma, as I said, Pati Dharma, Patni Dharma. So many dharmas are there. And mind you, what one should do, which these dharmas represent, that is same to everybody and nobody can deny that they are not valid. In fact, even in the 10 commandments and all, it's all based upon this dharma only. All this concept of dharma, right? So this is in short, the concept of dharma in the word Sanatana Dharma, right? And all of us, as I said, want these set of values, set of thoughts, these set of practices to perpetuate eternally so that the mankind can live peacefully. You will understand that it is because we have stopped or we have gone away from these dharmic practices that today the world is, embroiled with so many problems and so many issues, right? So the word dharma has got several dimensions. So simply we can say it's those customary observance or prescribed conduct which relates to justice, virtue, morality, and which leads to happiness for an individual and for lasting peace in the society or and world. This is the, we can say in short, what this is what dharma means, right? Actually, more than a religion, this is a way of life. That is why we all say Hinduism is not a religion; it is a way of life. And as I was saying, the Shastras talk about four Purusharthas, the four human goals, right? These four human goals, we will see them in detail later, but they are called Artha, Kama, Dharma, Moksha, as I told you. And these are the universal human goals. Every human being, wherever he is born, will follow all these four, right? And a dharmic way of life enables a person to successfully reach all these four goals in one's lifetime. And based on this, Adi Shankara gives a very beautiful definition of this word dharma in his commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama. All of us, most of us will know Vishnu Sahasranama. So there, in the beginning, this word, Yudhishthira asks a question to Bhishmaji about what these dharmas are about, right? I will not go into Vishnu Sahasranama now, but I will tell you what is the definition which is given by Adi Shankara. He says dharma means abhyudaya nishreyasah utpatti hetu bhuta chodana lakshana. This is a very beautiful definition. You know, Sanskrit is a very beautiful definition, very succinct definition of what this dharma is. But we will see the meaning of this sentence, right? He says hetu bhutan. Hetu bhutan means the cause. Hetu means cause, right? In the form of a cause. Cause for what? He says utpatti. Utpatti means that which gives rise to. So dharma is the cause which gives rise to. Okay, dharma gives rise to what? He says abhyudaya and nishreyasa. So these are two key words, you know. We have to understand what this abhyudaya and the nishreyasa mean. Abhyudaya refers to all actions, all our actions which are in conformity with the prescribed conduct and which leads to peace and happiness in the world. For example, if I do puja well, I will get good result. This is what the Dharma Shastra says. Why these messages are coming here? Ramkumarji, please stop sending these messages. They are coming on the screen. So I was saying, if I do puja well, I will get good result. If I talk to everybody nicely, I will get a good result. So abhyudaya means a good and happy living in this world. And it includes all types of positive behavior, because by following dharma only one can acquire such qualities. Especially, you know, in our day-to-day life, the more we have association with people who follow a dharmic way of life, automatically those values, that way of life, we will start imbibing slowly, one by one. That is why, you know, the satsangs and, association with Mahatmas are exalted, you know, they are praised in our Shastras. And also by following Dharma, we will get wealth. our occupation, vocation will prosper. There will be many children, and the children will listen to us. Whatever we tell them, they will be loving. They will live with us, or at least they will support us, even if they are not living with us. Not only that, am I losing my laptop power like last time? Anyway, just give me 1 minute. I will attach the cord in case to be on the safe side. Yeah. So as I was saying, so following this dharma, we can get everything in our life. We will have a long life, and our children will love us. As I said, we may probably not be afflicted with many diseases, because if you follow a lifestyle of dharma, it includes a lot of things, physical activities, and also probably we will be, other than the illness or things that, the afflictions come to us because of the operation of law of karma. So all these things come under this abhyudaya, right? So abhyudaya basically covers the first three purusharthas. What are they? Artha, Kama, and Dharma, right? Now, Artha means all the actions that we do for our security, whether it is physical security or financial security, all those things are coming under Artha Purushartha. Then Kama Purushartha, all our desires, our wantings, our longings, trying to meet all our, our laukika goals, materialistic goals, all these desires, they come under Kama Purushartha. And Dharma Purushartha talks about doing all those good deeds which will earn us what we call punya, so that it will give us in the future births, or even sometimes in this birth itself, a good life. So that is Dharma Purushartha. It consists of reaching out karmas, like helping poor people. In fact, even environmental protection comes under Dharma. So even when you are actually watering a plant, it is a Dharma Purushartha, because you are giving water to a thirsty plant. So these are all, the first three, which is Artha, Kama, and Dharma, come under this definition of Abhyudaya. So this is what Shankaracharya is saying, that so following this Dharma, you can meet these three goals in your life, the three human goals, without any problem, that you will get. So this is Abhyudaya. Now there is a word Nishreyasa. That's a very interesting word. What does that mean? Nishreyasa means understanding that all these worldly pleasures can never give us full happiness. There will always be obstacles in happy moments. So what we should do, we should first realize that all these worldly pleasures that we hanker behind, they will never be 100% perfect. This understanding first we have to get, right? We should not look for perfect happiness at all in worldly pleasures, in all these materialistic things. If we want pure and eternal happiness, we must choose Nishreyasah. And that is what is called a Moksha Purushartha, which is the fourth Purushartha which I talked about. So, this Nishreyasa is understanding the limitations of our worldly pursuits to give us pure and long-lasting happiness and discarding those pursuits in favor of a spiritual path which will lead to moksha, which is the most exalted and permanent goal of life. In fact, Shastra says, each one of us actually are going towards this moksha. The journey of any human being, birth after birth, is a journey towards moksha. But what happens is, each one of us are in different stages of this journey. So one has to keep on, getting a human birth again and again and again so that you can fast forward this journey. And the problem is, there is no guarantee that after this human birth, the next birth will be a human birth. So you have to do all those things. You have to find out the secret formula for getting the human birth and continue to do those things which will guarantee you a human birth in which you can further progress this, progress towards the moksha purushartha. This is all, we will discuss all these things in detail. I'm being very short in this because today my main aim was to explain the word dharma, right? So this is what is Abhyudaya Nishreyasah. Abhyudaya talks about the achievement or accomplishment of the first three Purusharthas, and Nishreyasah refers to the Moksha Purushartha, right? And this is what he says, that these dharmas are the hetu bhutan for the utpatti of these Purusharthas. So following the dharmic lifestyle, you will be able to achieve all the four goals of a human life, right? And then he says Chodana Lakshana. Chodana means injunctions, right? And Lakshana means, you can say, in the form of. So Dharma means those prescriptions and proscriptions, the do's and don'ts which are in the Shastra and which give rise to the worldly pursuits on the one hand and happiness on the permanent happiness on the other. Mind you, Shastra never says don't go behind this worldly happiness, right? Shastra says enjoy this world, enjoy the wealth you have, enjoy everything. But understand that if you are looking for permanent happiness, that is not in these objects. That's all. If you are looking for permanent happiness, the route is different. But there is no problem in your traveling in this route also, right? So that is what is the Shastra. For example, Shastra says Satyam Vada, tell that always speak the truth. Dharmam Chara, walk the path, the righteous path, right? Right deeds, right actions, right thoughts, as I said. Matru Devo Bhava. Treat your mother like a god. Pitru Devo Bhava. Acharya Devo Bhava. Atiti Devo Bhava. Even a guest who comes to your house without unannounced, you must look at it that God himself is arriving in the form of a guest and treat him like a god, like you would treat God. I mean, basically what it says is that, welcome him and make him comfortable, give him water to drink, offer him food, all those kind of things. Atiti Devo Bhava, right? Then Nanrutam Vade, these are all, the first set, what is the prescriptions. Now there are proscriptions, the don'ts. Nanrutam Vade, don't tell lie. You must not be, dishonest at all in your life, right? In fact, there is a very beautiful saying, which is a Subhashitani, it's a saying, which is Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat, satyam apriyam. Right? Even when you want to talk the truth, speak the truth, speak it in a very pleasant manner. Some people have got this habit, they will say, "Oh, I don't care, I will speak the truth," kind of a thing, even if it is going to hurt others. He says, if you are the speaking of your truth is going to hurt others, it is preferable to keep quiet rather than say, "I am speaking the truth." That does not mean that you should speak falsehood, right? But keeping quiet is always an option. If you find that speaking the truth is going to hurt somebody, so that we have to be very sensitive to the emotions and sentiments of other people also. So this is another thing. Na amritam vader. Then suram na pibet. You must not drink. You must not consume liquor. If I tell all these things these days, and all that, people will laugh. But this is shastric injunctions. Because everything that we do, it has got its reactions. We will see all those things, reactions, what reactions we will get. And then that will also explain why we suffer in our life. Those are all things, topics which will come later. Even the yoga shastras, those who are practicing yoga, they know that the Ashtanga yoga starts with yama and niyama. This yama and niyama, nothing but all these prescriptions and proscriptions, the do's and don'ts, which are there, in the basic fundamentals of dharmic way of life. So this is how we have to understand this Sanatana Dharma, the basic tenets of this religion. If at all you want to call this a religion, it's a right thinking, right attitude, right action, right living, and peaceful coexistence. These are the fundamental 5 principles you can remember. So ours is not a faith system. It is not based on just believing that there is a God, that God is somewhere, sitting somewhere and all. Yes, Puranas talk about these concepts, but they are Puranas we study at a intermediate level of our journey, spiritual journey. Once you come to Bhagavad Gita, Puranas teachings are no longer relevant. Puranas are meant to tell the same philosophy or the message of the Upanishads in a very, very story-like form, very simple form, which people will enjoy. Unfortunately, what happens is people enjoy the story part and forget the messages. That's a different aspect altogether. But we don't talk about God sitting somewhere and all that in heaven and trying to do justice and opening the gates of heaven and all that. That we don't talk about at all. When you come to Bhagavad Gita and when you come to the Upanishads further, right, Vedanta, there is no such concept. In fact, in Vedanta, there is no concept of a God with a form at all. The God which Vedanta talks about is a formless God. We'll see all that later, right? So for us, in fact, the word God also in Vedanta, the word uses Paramatma, right? So the Paramatma has no form. It is not something to be believed. We can experience Paramatma every moment in our life. How also we will see later. I'm saying everything later. Because if I say everything in this lecture itself, then there won't be next session, right? Anyhow, so for us, Ishvara or Paramatma is not to be believed, but it is to be understood. What is that Ishvara? What is that Paramatma? And how I relate to that Paramatma? This is what we need to understand. So our religion, this Sanatana Dharma, is founded on the highest moral value of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. You must have heard this. Prime Minister Modi, says this quite often. And this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is enshrined in our Shastras. Vasudha means this earth. Eva means indeed. And Kutumbakam means family. So this entire earth, it says, indeed is a family. So we have to treat this entire earth as a family, and this value reflects the holistic development and respect for all forms of life in this earth. And this is the loftiest Vedantic thought. can say. And this thought is also reflected in our prayers. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Isn't it? Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Let me see everybody. Let everybody be happy. Sarve bhavantu, sarve santu niramayah. Let everybody be without any affliction. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. May I see everybody, prospering. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Let nobody be afflicted with any misery, any sorrow, or any grief. This is the prayer, right? And this is a constant prayer. Every day we are praying, with these words. So that is why what we want, this Sanatana Dharma says that your way of life you should lead is with this kind of a commitment that may everyone be happy, may everyone be without any disease or afflictions, may everyone be prosperous, and may no one be afflicted with sorrow or happiness. So this is what is Sanatana Dharma is all about, and more we will see in the next session. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you very much, all of you. We will meet again tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock, and I hope we are not going to face all these technical problems. I think this time limit is a problem, so what I will do is I will get a paid subscription for Zoom so that there won't be any difficulty on this time limit. So I hope that by tomorrow evening this paid subscription should be active and we will not have this break in the class. Okay. Hari Om. Thank you very much.
Hari Om ji.
Hari Om, everybody.